Hey guys, this is the second painted SMC, the third SMC out of all of them. When I got done with the first coat, which is when I did the video of the first one, that was the one that came out better, so that's the one I did the video of. Now that I've done a second coat on both of them, this one actually looks better. The worst thing on all of them is the lower canopies, because I didn't actually strip the lower canopies. I was going to try to salvage the original finish and labels, but those of you may remember that just cleaning the dirt off the labels with soap and water took all the paint off, or not paint, all the color off the label, so you could no longer see that it said SMC. So I just said screw it and gave them a coat of white spray paint. I didn't even use the epoxy on them. I just dusted them with white spray paint, figuring I'd come back to it later, and I probably will. So this is the second fan. I do not remember what temperature it was when I filmed that cast Dayton over there. This might be the first video I've done up here in the real cold. I can't remember how cold it was when I videoed that one. When I got here, it was 20 degrees outside and about 26 degrees up here. Turning the lights and the space heater on brought it up to about 33, 34 degrees up here, which is still pretty cold. Definitely made an improvement, but that's still awfully cold. So I'm here in my thick, warm coat and my fleece, and you know, I'm sitting here bundled up like I'm about to go sledding, but instead I'm about to video this fan. I did test it before I did the video, and we'll see if it does it again. This one has a little bit more noise than the other ones did. This one has a little bit of motor noise, like a hum, and I don't recall that one on either of the others. And then the blades make some sort of whistling sound on high. That could be a balance issue. It could be some of the excess paint. I'm not sure. It's not coming from the motor. It's coming from the blades. It probably won't do it after it runs for a certain amount of time, but I just put it up there, and I'm not going to be up here in the cold with it running for any length of time. Before I forget, that's another gold line down rod there. It's not the SMC down rod. So, got the amp meter, got this control. I still can't find what I did with my other controls. They got to be somewhere, but for the life of me, I can't figure out where they are, so we're using this one for now. This is the 6814, and let's start it on low, which is 6 microfarads, and we're drawing. That's climbing up pretty quickly. So there won't be too many of these industrial fan videos during the winter because of the cold up here. I don't know, I haven't been here during the day when it's 20 degrees outside, because with the sun beating down on the roof, it might be bearable up here, and then I add the space heaters, it might be bearable, but I usually don't manage to get out here during the day. Maybe on tomorrow, Saturday, after work, but maybe, usually when I get out here during the day, it's on a Saturday when my wife is busy. So I'll have to check it out and see what the temperature's like up here on Saturdays, if I have a free Saturday. Won't be this one, won't be next one. Okay, 0.28. Let's go up to medium low, 0.38. You'll notice I also didn't turn the blender fans off, aka heat fans, which is appropriate. As I've stated in previous videos, they do a good job of keeping the heat from escaping. Okay, medium high, or as this control calls it, high. This control has low, medium, high, and max. These fans are rated at 1.5 amps if I recall correctly, but I think they draw around 1 amp is what my memory is telling me from the past videos. Okay, let's go to max. Not hearing the whistling sound this time around, so that's good. It's also drawing more current than it did in my initial test when I tested it by myself. Then it was drawing around 1.04, I think. Now it's drawing 1.17, so that's a big jump. I'll probably let it run for a while, I guess, and just see make sure that there's not anything funny with it. It's still well under spec. It's rated for 1.5. So I'm not going to bother to investigate how much air it's moving. We've done that before and it's too cold for that, but I will look at it from a few different angles since it's a cool looking fan. Well, I guess I'll see if I can even feel the air moving with my coat on. Yeah, it's a lot harder to tell. I got a coat on, I got a hat on. So, we won't be doing too many industrial tests during the winter. You know what, though? I just thought about something, too. I did replace the capacitor in this one. Of the two. One of the capacitors was around 13.5. It's supposed to be 13, and the other capacitor was around, let's spin it down. One capacitor was around 13.5 and the other one was around 12. And while, without doing the math, I'm pretty sure both are within spec. I'd rather not have one that's on the slow side, so I dug in my box and I found a, I think it was a multi-value that had like 5 different values, but 2 of them were 8 and 4.75. And when I measured it, it measured out at like 13.5 or 13.3. So, wonder why it looks green in here sometimes on the camera. Doesn't look anything green in person. It looks like wood and light in here, which is what it is. But for some reason, the camera picks that up as green. So I'm pleased with how these came out. It's much better than I was expecting. I mean, who would have thought? I don't think I ever took pictures of them, how rusty they were. I really should have. I was embarrassed that I had bought something that was in such bad a shape, and I didn't want anybody to see it. Now, seeing how they came out, I wish I would have, you know, been like, hey, before or after. But when I got them, they were in such rough shape that I immediately rushed to Chuck's, like, Chuck, what can I do to clean these up? And he showed me, and yeah, next time if I buy anything that's really terrible, remind me to take some pictures. Now I know I can cast iron, doesn't matter how bad a shape it's in, I can get it. These are definitely some of the best cast iron industrials that I have. When it's done spinning, I'll show you just for comparison's sake. So over there, you see there's the other painted SMC there next to the brown Newtones. Nothing else is cast iron, except for that you see the Dayton. Look at how small. I'll give you a better camera angle. Look at how much bigger the SMC is than the Dayton. They both draw around an amp. So, let's power it back on high. We're going to let it sit on high for a bit just so that I can do some... You hear the motor noise? Other ones didn't do that. We're at 1.9, 110, 1.9, 110, 111, 110, 12. Okay, well, I'm just going to let it run while I clean up and get ready to go back home, and then I'll just keep an eye on it while I do so. Thanks for watching.